Hey, awkwardly awesome podcast starts right now. Now. Actually, no. Welcome to Awkwardly Awesome Podcast. Today I'm so excited to have Jerald as my guest. Let me tell you a little about Jerald. As a mental illness survivor turned thriver, Jennifer now works with individuals specializing in working with women who want to experience the next level of personal growth. Having lived with abuse, neglect, sexual assault, divorce, bankruptcy, and a near-death car accident, Jennifer is proof that you can move forward in life. Beautiful. As a lifelong entrepreneur with a commitment to personal growth, Jennifer has touched the lives of thousands. As a powerhouse in her field, Jennifer has helped others to turn fear into focus. With her 5-step program for success, by providing a roadmap for women to move from the belief of I am not enough to the unbreakable conviction that I am more than enough. She does this with a straightforward approach through personal coaching and public speaking. Connect with Jennifer today at www.jenniferjoe.com. Let's welcome Jennifer.
Woohoo! Hi!
Hey, welcome, Jen. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. What a full circle we've come, isn't it?
Yeah, what a full circle. So a lot of people watching might be saying that 2020 has been pretty rough for them, and there's so many external circumstances as well as circumstances in their personal lives, and it all can bring up an extraordinary amount of fear. And you have a technique of turning fear into focus. First of all, why do that? Like if I were to do, like, someone might say, Jennifer, but I thrive on fear. Fear makes me more protective. I love being afraid.
Well, then they're probably not afraid. They're just driven. I don't know anybody cowering in fear that gets much of anything done, to be honest. But that's just my own personal perspective. I suppose I haven't met everybody in the world, so I don't know how everybody else thrives. But why turn fear into focus? I have spent the majority of my life hiding behind fear and using fear as an excuse to play small, to not get done what I wanted to get done or become what I wanted to become. And through learning this process myself, through lots of different challenges and opportunities in life, I realized that it's not the end all be all, but learning to use the fear and turn it into focus so it becomes a catapult of power and an ignition, if you will, to the next level. Then with the 5-step program, you can take it and go, fear, get behind me, because mama's got places to go.
So we use fear as a crutch, kind of, but you're saying we can turn it into focus and use it as a catapult.
Yes. Fear, most commonly defined, based on my own little survey of 100 people. Like, we love the Family Feud. So I was like, I'm going to ask 100 people. So the most common definition of fear out of 100 people, the number one answer was false evidence appearing real. And I've used that in several places in my life and in conversations and in writings and such. And then, but then there are some more positive ways to look at fear. The first alternative to that I learned was back in April of this year from Joseph McClendon III through the Habitude Warrior Summit. He said, face emotion and replace it. And that was amazing to me. He says, when I have a client that's afraid of a dog, what do you think is going to be sitting in my office when they get there? You betcha there's going to be a dog there. Because if you can't bring the emotion up, you don't know how to repair it. And so if you look at it that way, instead of letting it be false evidence appearing real that keeps you paralyzed and stuck, face your emotion and replace it and move it forward with focus so that you don't have to be this little victim of circumstance and fear, but a victor of focus and the win of wherever you're wanting to go.
So there's a lot of fear over money issues right now. So what will be an example of facing the emotion of money issues?
Money issues are definitely a tough one because they can be very real. Money being tight is a very real situation, especially right now with millions on unemployment. And having lost their primary source of income that is a very real fear. And there are some times that fear is valid. Having faced that myself, having to reinvent myself this year, in so many levels, but also financially, the focus steps allowed me to say, okay, well, we can sit here and be afraid that we don't have enough money, or we can create a new way to make it, because there's an overabundance of it. We just need to be more resourceful and creative to create it. So we got to bring it into our lives in a different way. We get stuck sometimes in the patterns that we're in, so dependent on a pay stub from an employer, when each one of us is actually gifted so many talents. And we can take those talents and turn it into a thriving source of income. Like, I watched a video of a young lady who couldn't get a job after she lost her job, and she applied and she applied and she applied and she applied. And her girlfriend said, hey, check out my new LinkedIn profile. And her picture was terrible. And this young lady says, girl, you need a new pic. And so she took her friend's picture and then ended up building this huge enterprise as a photographer using the skill that she had and the passion that she had been gifted. So fear is real when it comes to money, but staying stuck there is optional. What have we been blessed with that can create and provide income for ourselves or our families when someone else can't or won't hire us? What can we do to hire ourselves?
Well, what can we do to hire ourselves? Wow. Along that note, will you of hiring ourselves? What does focus stand for? I've heard this amazing acronym.
Well, you know, Jenny Jen loves her acronyms. I think they're powerful. So focus. First is the F, and we need to check the facts. So is our fear based on actual facts, or is it based on emotional triggers around beliefs or perceptions of facts? So when we can remove the emotion, or both. It can be both sometimes. So, but it's really important to check those facts. And if you check the facts and remove the emotion, which is just energy in motion or a distraction, once you get rid of the distractions and you put your facts on the fear factor in front of you, then you're able to kind of roll yourself back from it a little bit and say, okay, so this is an emotion, this is a fact. And once the facts are in front of you, Then you can go into the next step, which is the O, which is to observe. And that's where you observe your surroundings, you observe your body, you observe the muscles in your body. Are they tense? Are they tight? Are they relaxed? What's the position of your body? If you're sitting like this and you're all wrapped up tight, your body's going to respond to that. You're going to feel that tightness and you're like,
yeah,
so
that
bad.
does not feel good.
No, it doesn't feel good. So if you're all bound up, and taking that time to observe it, you're going to be able to acknowledge, oh, hold on a second. I'm all bound up. I'm all tight. And I'm not going to be able to work through anything if I'm all tight. So it's like a wet knot. That's why they say it's good luck if it rains on your wedding day, because a wet knot is much harder to untie. So I had to look that up because it rained on my wedding day in June, believe it or not. So
congratulations.
Yes, thank you. So you don't want to have this emotional wet knot or you're not going to get very far. So check your facts, observe your body language and everything.
What an image, an emotional wet knot. That's just such a great image.
Thank you. So yes, I'm a very visual storyteller. So if I can paint a picture that helps everybody to understand on a level plane, then I'm all about that. So get rid of that emotional knot. And how do you do that? You observe what's happening in your body. Once you can observe that, then you move on to the C, which is to change your mindset. How often have we heard that in our world of influence?
Oh, a lot.
All the time. And I'm like,
change your mindset. 1, 2, 3.
Boom!
Life's new. Yay!
Wait, hold on. My snapper's broke. Nope. Nope. Okay. So C, change your mindset, which I was like, what does that mean anyway? And that reminds me of the end of a show from years ago, but I don't know which one. What does that mean? And it's just to change the way that we're thinking. And in order to change mindset, if we're in a tense, tight, wet, emotional knot, we're going to have to dry that up and loosen it up a little. And the best way to do that is to do some form of meditation. So some folks like to go directly to an app where they can be guided through a meditation. And some of them are like 3 to 5 minutes. You can find some meditations that are like an hour, but I don't know about you. I don't have that kind of time usually. So you can go through a guided app. Sometimes you can just put on music that's really inspirational, but slows you down. Sometimes it's just sitting quietly and not talking, but just focusing or observing your thoughts and your words that are coming audibly or silently into your mind, and get into a place of a little bit more calm. And then once you're more calm, you can go to the U, which is to upgrade your word choices. So if what you're telling yourself, like, this week's been really challenging. Everybody has some weeks that are harder than others. If I had sat all week and said, what is this happening to me? Oh my gosh, everybody hates me. Nobody loves me. And why does this always happen? We've all heard that, right?
I've heard myself say that.
Yes. I've spent so much of my life. I probably should have written a song about that a long time ago, but I didn't. Because what's the point? It's depressing. So instead of sitting around, like, pay attention. What are you saying? Oh, I was never meant to be successful. Oh, I'm just never going to get this. Oh, I'm just never going to overcome this. Oh, da, da, da. And it's just one battle after the next mentally. If you can catch those words that are negative, destructive, and unproductive, examine them and upgrade them to say, gosh, this has been a challenging week, but how many wonderful things have happened that are good? Am I focusing on the bad or am I focusing on the positives? What are the good things? I did this. That was awesome. I did this. I got this checked off my list. I got that done. I had this done. And upgrade those word choices to, hey, what can I learn from this? And what will I be able to share with other people because of this experience or this opportunity? And upgrade that word choice from a destructive, unproductive to a constructive, productive. Then we are ready for the final step, which is the S. And this one, This one has been the hardest step for me to master. And some days it's still a tug of war.
Good. I'm glad you say that, because when I was looking through what focus meant, I'm like, oh yeah, that last step is tough.
It is. I think it's honestly one of the hardest steps. And I was thinking of all the different S's that it could possibly be, and surrender.
Oh, good. I'm glad you didn't choose a S for letter word, because
No. Surrender the outcome. So if you can detach yourself from the outcome, because what happens is we hold on to the outcome as if somehow we have control over it. And
that's like pulling the wind not tight.
Yeah, we're just like hanging it under the shower head that's getting that real wet. It's going the wrong direction. So if we can let go of the need to control that which is out of our control, which we defined up with check the facts, right? If we can let go of that, then we can sit back, we can feel free, and we can feel fear back off, and the possibility of success move in. So letting go is huge. And the best word I could think of was to surrender. Not in a sign of weakness and defeat, but in a sign of, I have done all that I can, and I shall let this go.
But beautiful. But it's so tough, because so often we want to be perfect.
Oh, all the time. All the time. It's so difficult. Everyone's like, go live every day. And I'm like, but sometimes I just stay in my pajamas and I don't look perfect. I mean, who puts pants on anymore? I did for today because of where I'm sitting, but I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I did too, just so everyone knows.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm glad, just in case we all have to jump and run for a second. But no, perfection is definitely something that I've struggled with my whole life. One of the biggest messages I grew up with was, it's better to look good than to be honest about how you feel, about what you need, what you want, what you don't have, what you do have. So it was more important to be quiet and look good than to be vocal and authentic. And so learning to be authentic and bold has been part of the reinvention of myself this year.
Can anyone listening relate to that message and that youth of it's better to be quiet and look good than to feel? Please comment on that, or anything else Jen has said, because she's giving us nugget after nugget. I'm feeling so wealthy right now.
Oh, thank you.
So I have this little concept. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, or if I've ever told you. I'm just kidding. But of the power of doing your imperfect best.
Yes. In fact, I read an incredible book about that. It kind of has the same name as our podcast we're on today.
Oh, is it called Awkwardly Awesome, Embracing My Imperfect Best by chance?
By golly, it sure is. One of the best books I've read this year.
Thank you. But I'm excited to know, and I ask all my guests, what does doing your imperfect best mean to you, Jen?
Doing your imperfect best is getting up and showing up every day for who you want to be, saying goodbye to who you were that wasn't serving you, and doing it your very best. And if it's not perfect, it's okay. It doesn't have to be. Perfection is an impossible perception. And because of that, we get stuck. And I have spent a lot of years stuck in the muck of trying to be perfect. And I still have moments, depending on who my audience is, or if I'm speaking to a certain group, I'm like, oh, I don't want to mess up. But you know what? If mistakes happen, they're just a part of life. And so being my imperfect or living my imperfect best is just about getting up, showing up, and being better today than I was yesterday.
When you were stuck in the perfectionistic mindset, were you, by any chance, did it ever feel like you were sitting on the sidelines of your life?
Oh, big time.
I mean, that might be a cool thing to if you write a song about that sometime. That might be a neat idea.
Well, actually, Jason, I did write a song about that.
No way! Really?
Way! Inspired by my friend Jason and his imperfect best story.
Gosh. I hope to have you back someday and so you can play it.
I'm ready to go right now. How would you like that?
Oh, you're ready to go right now.
Look at that. There's a microphone right here.
Wow. Yeah, I'm so excited.
All right, you ready for this? This is my first live musical debut on a podcast.
Yay!
Testing. Can you hear me? All right, here we go. It's been said, a dream is a wish your heart makes, and you're convinced that dreams do come true. You watch the fairy tales unfold and pray there's one for you. In the morning you wake up, try to smile again, but you realize you're still alone in pain. So you look out the window, hoping for the sun, but your hopes are dashed by the falling rain. Little by little, it's harder to see the wish that your heart made a dream. Crying out in anger, screaming at the sky, hating your imperfect life. Oh, you're sitting on the sidelines, at war with yourself, finding who you are, wishing you were someone else, letting fear and anger drive your car instead of realizing who you really are. Perception is true. What does yours say? Does it tell you that you're strong, or does it tell you that you're weak? Does it say that you're not perfect and there's no way to compete? Are you listening and accepting defeat? Are you sitting on the sidelines at war with yourself? Are your perceptions killing your dreams? Change your perception. Oh, change your truth. Turn the page and love be in you. live your life. Live your life. Go and stand tall. Love, love your life. Imperfections and all. No more sitting on the sidelines and missing your life. Let your dreams take flight. Change your perception. Oh, change your truth. Turn the page in love. Love in you.
Woo! I absolutely love that song, not only because the message was inspired by some of the ideas I share and hold dear, but you have such a gift to be able to write that and compose the music, but not only that. As I listen to it, I feel really good as you're singing. You convey emotion through that song.
Thank you. I was told once that anybody can sing a song, but it takes something special to tell a story. So if I sing, I want it to tell a story. I want it to touch hearts. I don't want people to just hear it. I want them to feel it. So thank you for that, because that means I did my job.
You did. It was so good. Speaking of your job, you're a coach.
Yes, sir.
So there's this woman. I read a little of her story, and it sounded like she was in a really rough place. And I'm just wondering what you would say to help her. So let me read. Okay, this woman says, in agony, I walked through the hospital doors, angry, aggressive, and defiant and cruel. I watched as the pain I was causing was broadcast over the web, over text, and in person, yet was too proud to realize that I caused this because of pride, selfishness, self-pity. And by giving the power of my thoughts to those whose sole purpose is to hurt and to destroy, I did this. Fear did this. Fear of being alone. Fear of being with people. Fear of their judgments. Fear of failure. Fear of success. Fear of loving and then losing. Fear of being okay with me. So, sounds like that woman's in a rough place. Well, is there hope for her, or should she just go on being afraid?
No, there is absolutely hope for her. I think that a lot of people feel similarly, maybe not quite so dark. Some are at different levels, but I believe that that is a feeling that is common. A fear of success, fear of failure, fear of loving and then losing, fear of me, fear of being me, because who am I? And I believe that a lot of us get to where we are and believe we are who we are because somebody and lots of somebodies have a tendency to build who we think we are. And those, as a coach, are called limiting beliefs. And it is a whole bucket of limiting beliefs that have that girl completely paralyzed with an absolute inability to think straight, see straight, or even move her feet.
Well, Coach Jennifer, this is so easy for you to say. You're at the top of your game. You're coaching. You're speaking. You're a musician. It's so easy for you to say. You heard this person in this book. I mean, whatever. She's in pain, and you're just sitting in your room playing your songs, and you're like, oh, I'll be all right for her. How do you know?
I know it'll be all right for her because that girl is me. That was my foreword in my book that I wrote about my personal journey through the discovery of mental illness, borderline personality disorder, and the absolute infinite power to overcome.
It's just so. Can you talk a little bit about the courage it has taken to go from that place where you were to where you are now? Now you're giving so much beauty and so much life. I mean, that song, your message. What's the courage of taking a journey like that like?
It is a brutal journey sometimes, and it is a beautiful journey. With all the highs and the lows and the darks and the brights. The best way I can explain it is when an artist looks at the canvas and begins, how often have we watched the painting in progress and go, what in the world is that? And then they get done and you're like,
it looks like a wet knot.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, that's amazing. And so that journey, that courageous journey to heal and to overcome is like a canvas, and we have to trust the artist. And so we have to trust that all those highs and all those lows, at some point when we have the opportunity to look back and look at our life, they're going to make sense. And we're going to see where those dark valleys and those darkest of places were absolutely critical to the depth of the tapestry when it's all done. And so for me personally, I talk about this in my book. I compare it to peeling off a scab. I know it's kind of gross, but it's something everybody gets. And just letting the ick, the emotional infection get out. Because we can't, if we don't open the wound and let the yuck get out, we can't heal it. It just continues to fester. And so that journey to heal through focus became my all-time everything. And then I thought, oh, I got there. And then recently I was like, oh, I'm not there. I'm still holding on to stuff. And I was afraid to let go of all of that because I thought, well, I don't know who I am. If I don't hang on all this yuck, who am I? What am I going to be? And then I realized it didn't matter. I could be whoever I wanted, be whatever I wanted. Nobody else could say anything about it because their opinions had been tossed. Wow. So yeah, it is a tough journey. It is not easy, but you're not alone. There are other people out there who have struggled and overcome, and the infinite power to overcome is everybody's gift to have. It's a choice that has to be made though.
What would you say to someone in that place you were at who's just like, Jen, I hear you. I have dreams. I know I want to change my life, but I don't know where to start. This is just so overwhelming to me.
I think the first, especially with being a coach, because we don't get to give advice, we get to ask questions. And the best part is that when we ask the best questions, and because we've listened, they answer their own questions. And I like to think of coaching as nobody likes to be told what to do. I know I'm kind of a rebel. Don't boss me around, because I'll just show you that I don't have to. But if I'm creating my own path, I'm certainly more willing to walk it. But in that situation, if I were to meet somebody that was in as dark a place as I am, because I'm a tender heart, I'd probably cry with them. I'd probably acknowledge their pain and acknowledge that where they are feels very real. But I would also acknowledge that it is a perception of reality and it is possible to change it. And then ask if they were really ready to dig deep, answer tough questions, and let go of the stuff that is feeding that fear.
And what part does action play? Does taking the next, I mean, like beyond the coaching session, what part does taking the next small step play in this journey of healing?
The next small step is huge. In fact, Disney wrote a song about it. I wish it would have been my song, but Anna got to sing it in the Frozen 2 movie. And it's about the next, she talks about the next right thing, but she refers to taking that next step. She's lost. She's in the dark. She's cold. Her sister's gone. The one person that she was leaning on her whole life, and realized that the strength to take that next step, to do the next right thing, that the power was within her the whole time. And so being consistent every day, even if sometimes it's just a macro step where to the naked eye, it doesn't feel like we moved anywhere or did anything.
Just a micro step, just a tiny step.
Just the eensy weensiest next step. And then sometimes it's a little bit bigger. And then before you know it, being consistent in that little action every single day, before you know it, you've finished your marathon and you're ready to start training for the next one. Because life is not over. The destination isn't the end. It's just part of the journey.
Do you have an example of taking a micro step that maybe has to do with the piano you're playing on?
Yes, I have had a beautiful acoustic piano in my home for as long as I can remember. We grew up with a piano. When I moved out on my own, I got this piano for free and I paid a couple $100s to fix it up. And then I traded it in and got a new one. And then I started seeing all these really cool pianos that were digital and they had all these fun details. And I was like, oh, I want one of those. But they're pretty expensive. And I remember I was watching a live that you were doing, Jason, and I said, oh, I just started, because you wanted to know about the macro steps and micro steps we were taking. And I said, oh, I just started pricing out digital pianos. And then 3 days later, I made that happen. And this piano right here is my new digital piano that allows me to record. And when I'm all ready, I can upload my music directly to iTunes for people to download and listen as they go.
And this is really significant because what's your dream as a musician? In that part of your life, Shem, what's your music?
Well, I have a really, really big dream. I don't want to be a all-around country star, but I do have a dream. It's on my vision board. I love country music. You might have caught that little flair in the song I wrote, but I have a dream to sing on stage with Reba McEntire, Martina McBride, and Carrie Underwood. That's a big music dream. But also,
at the same time?
All at the same time. We're going to have a hot rocking concert and everybody's got to be there. And of course, I'll have to introduce my daughter to Carrie Underwood because she absolutely knows every single one of Carrie Underwood's songs. So that's a big dream. But I want to record my own albums and ultimately incorporate the music just like this into my message of healing and hope and living forward by daring to heal and stop playing small. Stop letting everyone else achieve your dreams while you sit back and watch. Get in there, get your hands dirty and make your own dreams come true.
So your dream of becoming a superstar and singing on that stage is going to happen song by song by song.
Yeah.
So speaking of songs, would you if you by any chance, I know it's a lot to ask, but if you have one more song.
I do. Actually, I will sing one of my favorites. It's by Lauren Daigle, and it's called You Say. And it has been a powerful tool of forward growth and overcoming as I've reinvented myself this year, dealing with all those little voices and the limiting beliefs that were screaming so loudly in the beginning of my book, in that forward that you shared the paragraph of. So if y'all don't mind, I'll go ahead and share that one now.
Oh, and so I can have it on. Will you please tell me your email address and all? Not your email, your website.
Yes, my website is jenniferjerald.com, and that's Jennifer with a J and Jerald with a J.
I'll put it up so people can reach out and connect with your book.
Yes, they can reach out. They can snag a copy of the book, follow along on my podcast. And then also, if they would like to reach out, I'll be happy to send them the PDF of my Focus 5 Steps. And that comes with a complimentary 15-minute discovery call with me as well.
But is the Focus 5 Steps, is that like $500 to get the document?
No, it's complimentary.
Complimentary?
Yep. You can get that absolutely free.
So like $50 at least.
Nope, the PDF's absolutely free.
Free? Wow, that's so cool.
Yes, sir. That's how I connect. And if that's all you need in front of you, great. Keep it close. It's in fun colors.
It is.
All right. So are you ready for this?
Oh yeah, so ready.
So again, this is You Say by Lauren Daigle, and this is my cover. We have to say that for book face. Okay. I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Oh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I'm weak. You say I am held when I am falling short. When I don't belong, you say I am yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe the only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. Oh, and now I'm laying it at your feet. You have every failure, God, and you have every victory. Oh, you say I am love when I can feel nothing. You say I am strong when I think I'm weak. You say I am held when I am falling short, when I don't belong. You say I am yours, and I believe. Oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe. Oh, I believe. Yes, I believe what you say of me. I believe.
Wow. Well, just so amazing. Thanks for the wonderful music and just such a powerful message. You are living the journey of healing, and you are living it, and it's not always a straight path, but you're doing the work and you're doing it, and it's so inspiring, and you're brilliant. Thanks so much for being on Awkwardly Awesome podcast.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you for letting me just share my story. Thank you for sharing my story with me, being on this journey with me, and thank you for letting me share my music.